Hi, we're Joel and Lia.
And this video is things that we don't understand about American restaurants. And not just us, most British people.
Yeah, we found this article on BuzzFeed that is basically anyone who is non-American goes to American restaurants and is like, what? And some of these I think I've definitely thought before in American restaurants. So we're going to go through them and just have a bit of fun.
Yeah, I feel like whenever you read a BuzzFeed article like this and they show you the pictures and stuff, you're like, it's lived in your subconscious and you know it, but you need to see it, and you're like, oh yeah, that is so weird.
Definitely. And I think I encourage all of you guys, if you've been to the UK, comment down below if there are things about UK restaurants that you find weird as well, because I would love, if I was American, I'd love to watch this video, because it would be things you take for granted. You're like, oh, is that weird? And I love hearing it when people are like, I think it's weird in the UK when you do this. So let us know in the comments.
Okay, so one of the first ones is the misuse of French words. Someone said, why do American restaurants call the main course an entree? Why would you do this?
Yeah.
I've genuinely thought this.
Yeah, it confuses me because I'm like, okay, is an entree a starter or is it a main course? Because we just don't say entree in the UK, and we just call it starter, main, pudding.
Yeah, starter, main, pudding. Entree, like I feel like even in Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, doesn't he go along with it and also call it an entree because they call it an entree? I'm having mind, I can't remember.
No
I don't know if you've ever watched the Nightmares, he just shouts.
No.
He just goes, oh my God, Joel, you'd love it. Gordon Ramsay as like, you know, the most sort of like cutthroat British chef, you know, goes to American restaurants that are like falling apart and they need help, they need their businesses like on its knees. And he helps them, switches up the menu, and like I feel like he uses the word entree, and I feel like he's even talking about mains because that's what they call it.
Well, I think because they're American, maybe he does. But do Americans also call starters appetizers?
Yes.
So it's like appetizer, entree, and dessert, and it's so different to what we say in the UK.
Starter, main, pudding.
Yeah, like we might say dessert.
Yeah.
But like most Brits would refer to it as pudding. But yeah, we definitely don't say appetizer or entree.
Oh my gosh. If you said to me like, Lia, what's the entree? I would be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no idea.
No idea.
Anyway.
We just want to thank today's sponsor, which is Surfshark. Who is Surfshark, Joel?
Well, let me tell you, Lia. Surfshark are a VPN, or a virtual private network, which means you can make your network private when surfing the internet.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Oh, it's really good. You do this because it gives you an added layer of security, and it protects your device from hackers, especially when joining public Wi-Fi connections while out of the house. But it can also be used to gain access to websites restricted by location.
We all hate that error where it says you cannot access this because it's not in your country.
Ugh, it's the worst.
So for us, we love to change our computer's location to the United States so that we can get access to things like American Netflix. Who wouldn't want that?
A crazy person. Everyone wants it.
There are loads of other benefits with using a VPN. So if you want to give it a go, Surfshark have very kindly given you guys 83% off plus an extra 3 months for free when you use our code Joel and Lia.
Or click the link in the description of this video.
Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's really no risk at all.
Exactly. So go do it if you want it. If not, let's get on with the video.
The next one, and you know, Lia, that I have like issues with this, is why do American restaurants serve ice water in winter? And it's so, like, to be fair, most of the countries we've been to have been quite warm in the warm months, but even then I'm like, there's too much ice. But I can imagine that this is true even going, well, I've been to Florida in winter, in like November, and they're still chucking buckets of ice in your drink and you're like, stop.
Not only that, but like the combination of the cold weather, the cold drink and the cold AC.
Yeah.
People like me are just freezing in there and you're like, get given this freezing cold cup of
Literally, we had to like take napkins in Olive Garden and lay them over Lia's shoulders because she was so cold.
It just makes me sound like the biggest diva. But it's true. I was
Excuse me, do you have more napkins? Because I'm freezing. I was going to swear.
It was like I'm freezing. Yeah, it was like the white, you know, they give you like the proper, the cloth ones.
Yeah.
So I was like laying out the cloth. I was like, this is the only material I have. Like, you're going to have to coat me in it like a cape. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. It's just, Americans apparently love to be cold, and I can't relate. Well, I can relate in some aspects because I would always rather be too cold than too hot. But not when you're eating in a restaurant. No. Like, you want to be warm and like,
I know. This one triggers you as well, Joel, and I think we've both commented on it before, but it's the surplus of napkins.
There's too many. I mean, when you're going with Leah and she's cold, there's no such thing as too many napkins. But in general, there's just so many.
It's just so many. I can't remember. I think I remember being a kid and like, you know, when you were a kid, you used to do silly things. Like, I remember going into McDonald's and getting like the biggest wedge of napkins that were available on the like serve yourself thing ever, and being like, I've got so many napkins. But then you grow older and you're like, that is so wasteful. No one uses them. And then as soon as they're done, because you've touched them, they're to be chucked. And I feel like there's a lot of people still doing that, not just in America, but like everywhere, like a massive wedge.
I know. That's why the cloth ones are better, aren't they? Because you can, not only do they feel more bougie, but they're better for the environment.
Yeah, so true. So true.
This next one you'll be able to relate to, Leah, and it's about tea. And I've got something to add on to it, because this person has said, to my fellow British expats, anyone know why American restaurants refuse to make tea with boiling water in a teapot? However, what I'd like to add is that whenever Leah asks for a tea, they're always like, oh, like cold or hot? Or they say like iced tea, and you're like, no, just like, they don't get it, do they?
No, they don't get it. Tea, iced? No.
Yeah, or they'll serve you honey on the side of your tea, which I know you sometimes enjoy, but I swear it's like a bit of a weird thing, because most Brits just want a normal English breakfast tea with milk.
Just, you know, like if you go anywhere here and you're just like, oh, just a tea, please. The next question is usually milk and sugar, and then you'll be like, yeah, milk and no sugar or whatever. But over there, they ask you immediately about the temperature.
Yeah,
do you want it
like
cold?
Hot or cold, and you're like, why would I want a cold tea?
Yeah, I'm freezing underneath your aircon.
Yeah, it's so funny. I know a fact about this. I once went on a date with someone who worked for Lipton's iced tea, and he said that apparently the UK has Lipton's have the lowest sales in the UK anywhere in the world. Like, they have high sales in Europe, high sales in the US. The UK just do not like iced tea.
Oh my goodness, that is. I think a lot of people here are just like, well, it's not real tea. Perhaps if they were to rebrand, instead of calling themselves iced tea, and just call themselves something fun, like just a total rebrand, call themselves like, I'm not a branding expert, but anything but iced tea, because if you tell a Brit that it's tea, and then it's not, you've let them down. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. But do you know what? I've just thought of another hypocritical thing we've said. So whereas the US like to keep everything cold, it's cold and they've got ice drinks, aircon, everything. Yeah. In the UK, even when it's the height of summer, we'll still be drinking hot drinks.
Oh yeah, I'll still have my
Isn't that weird?
I'll still have my tea in my teapot, boiling hot.
Yeah.
At the height of summer.
Yeah.
And
we're literally the opposite.
Brits made up a thing that apparently it cools you down. Like, a Brit must have made that up.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, a hot drink.
They're like, oh, it cools you down, yeah. It's like, no, it doesn't.
No,
Let's just be real.
Like, the sweat is dripping from my brow.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one is going to trigger a few people, and I mean, it triggered you and I, Joel, when we were over there, but it's just the amount of butter that gets thrown on vegetables if you order like a side of veg, and it's just covered in butter. But you might be in the mood for it, but maybe you were trying to order just some like veg.
Yeah, you're trying to be healthy.
Yeah.
And then, I feel like it's also with salads, like, quite often in America I'll ask for the dressing on the side, because in the UK I feel like they'll put less dressing on, and in the US it's like soaked in dressing. So normally I'll ask for like that on the side, just so I can control how much is on it.
Yeah, I remember being really upset actually when we got a salad somewhere and mine was just covered in, like, it was like, can I get some salad with this sauce, please? Because rather than the sauce on the salad, because I was just like, oh, I don't want to eat this.
But don't get me wrong, sometimes I'm in the mood, like the amount of cheese and sauce and like bacon, croutons and all these things that Americans tend to put on their salad, like a Cobb salad. Yeah. Like, sometimes I'm really in the mood for it, and I know it's more calories than a hamburger, but I just absolutely love it. But sometimes when you're trying to be healthy, you're like, why do they have to coat it in so much?
Yeah. I've got a question. It's a bit off. It's kind of on topic, but off topic. say you're somewhere and public and you know you're putting like your cheese on top of whatever you're eating, would you put less cheese on it because other people can see how much you're putting on compared to what you'd have like say at home?
I can't really relate to the cheese example, but I'm guessing yes, because I do that with salt. I love salt. When I'm home I'm like salt everywhere, but if I'm out I'm like just a little bit.
Yeah, okay, so like you can relate with salt. So yesterday when I was having a jacket potato, aka a baked potato if you're watching from the US, and I opened it up and I have beans and cheese, so baked beans. I reckon Americans are gonna find this so weird. Jacket potato, cheese and beans. Is that a thing over there? Anyway, and I was putting my cheese on and I was like, obviously I was alone, so I was just like, put a bit more, and then I put beans on, and then I was like, oh, I'm just gonna melt a bit more cheese on top of those beans just so it's really cheesy and beany. And then I was thinking about like, if I was at someone else's house, I don't think I'd have put that much cheese on. I don't know. I don't know if it was something I was wondering if other people are like that, or if that's just like, if people just go, oh, I would just eat what I would normally eat, or if we all do that alone where we're just like, whatever you want, really. Well,
I had a discussion about this with my family of saying, do you think it's rude if you were at someone's house for dinner and they asked for salt and pepper and the salt and pepper wasn't on the table and you're like, oh, do you have any salt? Would you take that as an insult? Because essentially you're saying their food is flavourless.
Yeah.
Do you have any salt or pepper?
The worst is if you say, can I get some salt? Or have you got any salt? And they go, oh, there's already salt in it. And you're like...
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, I know, I want more.
I don't want more, I need more.
I need more. I'm so used to salty foods that I need more.
Yeah, I'd say it is a little bit insulting, especially over here. Because you're just going like... I'm trying to think of a story. So, you know, a family around a table and they're all eating soup. Can't remember who told me this. And then the soup's really bad, so like one family member starts putting like salt in it, and then the next one, and then before you know it, like everyone's just grinding loads of salt into it because it's just so bad. The soup's terrible.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, at least they all jumped on board. They all silently agreed.
Oh yeah, they were like, this is horrendous. Silently, no one said a word.
And the last one we're going to talk about is, I feel like we've already said it, is the AC problem. So just the pumping out of aircon no matter what the temperature is outside. But we've already spoken about that, so we won't bang on about it.
We've definitely like hammered that one home. But do you know what? Saying all of that, I weirdly do, I mean, not weirdly, I miss restaurants.
Me too. I do. And I miss not just restaurants, but even being in the US and eating at restaurants. Like, I can't wait to be back there because it is a different culture. And even though we've said these things don't make sense to us, it's what we love about it and what we love about America. So yeah, I can't wait to be back there. I'm having to learn to cook for myself, which is horrendous.
Oh gosh, yeah. I wondered why you'd stayed at your parents so long. Maybe they're cooking for you.
I know. Honestly, it's amazing. They're cooking out. I said to my parents, I was like, I need to stay long enough to get all the benefits of being here, but not so long that you're like, okay, you need to start paying rent.
Yeah, not so long that you're like, okay, can you do the food shop this week, Joel?
Yeah, exactly. So my time is coming. I need to leave.
God. Yeah, I've been cooking a lot as well. I didn't know if we would end up talking about cooking, but these are my latest cooking books that I've been that I've been reaching for. So I'll give you the I'll give you the lowdown, Joel. Number one.
Yeah, what are they?
This one I actually found in HomeSense. HomeSense? Yeah, you know, the sibling of TK Maxx, our favourite place. And this one is a miso tasty cookbook, so it's Japanese. So like Japanese superfood called miso. And like, if you're someone who loves that like soy umami flavored, like I just love it. I've been getting really into this, so I've been like sticking miso on everything, and it's meant to be really good for the gut. So if you've got like any gut issues, like fermented foods are really, really good. So here's one that I've been enjoying. A little bit more, you know what I mean? You have to like put a bit of effort in, but it's quite fun if you're like doing something special. That one's really good, and actually any of the books I mention, I'll just stick an Amazon link underneath if anyone's interested. Oh, the next one, you remember this guy because we interviewed him.
Yeah, is this our signed copy?
Yeah, I think we both got one, didn't we? Yeah. Joe Wick signed it.
So good. This is the Veggie Lean and 15, where basically we want to try and be a bit more veggie, a bit more conscious of our meat consumption, and this is perfect because his original book Lean and 15 was non-veggie, but it's all basically they take 15 minutes to cook, and it's the same with this one, isn't it? But veggie.
Like you'd love this, like peri peri halloumi burger.
Oh my gosh, that sounds incredible.
Sounds really good, and I like it because it's just like everything's quick. Everything's 15 minutes. So when you just think like, I haven't got an hour. I just don't have an hour to do all this. There's no excuse with a 15-minute meal.
No. Well, you know what? 2021 is the year of the cookbook. We all need to learn how to cook because restaurants are shut. So
you're so right. The last one that I've also been looking at, which is really also veggie and really, really good. It's called Mob Kitchen. I think these guys are quite famous, but it was a gift. So that one's also got like really good recipes in as well. Okay. Oh my gosh, like just all of it.
You've got so many. Well done.
Absolutely love it. I want to get more colourful. My goal for 2021, Joel, is to get more colourful with my cooking.
Yeah.
To get more colourful with my cooking.
Yeah. More varied variety, less beans on jacket potatoes.
Less beans, did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, if for instance the plate just looks very yellow, I need to be like, this needs more green, or this needs more like, just needs more colour.
Yeah. No, I agree. Oh, well, I'm gonna check out that miso one, because I love like all the soy, miso, hoisin, all those sort of Asian flavours, love it. So I'll check that one out.
And next time we're allowed to meet up, I'll do you the miso grilled aubergines, also known as eggplant if you're watching from the US. And they taste really good, and they're good for you.
I can't wait. Well, thank you very much.
No worries.
Well, thank you guys for watching today's video. Don't forget, we also have memberships. So we recently added a new perk. So no matter what tier you sign up for, even if it's the 99 cents tier, you get members only videos. We post about once or twice a month on there. So you get access to more Joel Lia videos.
They're really fun, and what we do is we have a little routine before we start filming. We'll always film our catch-up video where we just sit and chat, it goes off in all sorts of places, and sometimes members find out things before everyone else and so on. So it's really great to have more members joining. We want to make it like at a really fair price, so no matter what tier, as Joel said, you get access.
Definitely. So go check those out. If you're new here and you've survived this long and you put up with our tangents, then thanks. Please subscribe. We post videos every single week.
If you want to find out more about us, we've got solo channels. You can go check those out. And we just post a lot, guys, and we really are putting a lot of effort in. So
we are. So
go check out all the channels.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
See ya. Bye.
Hi, we're Joel and Lia.
And this video is sorry, Joel. As you started it, I was shuffling my sleeves up, and then I was like,
oh. See, this is the thing, I just don't know if you're ready and you don't know if I'm ready, so it's quite hard to do. But shall I go again?
Yeah, because normally we're so in tune with each other. If the other one goes like that, we can see it out the corner of our peripheral and we just start again.
Exactly. And we both say, hi, we're Joel and Lia normally, so it's weird doing it by myself.
Very true.
Very true. Right, let's try again. Hi, we're Joel and Lia.
I spoke.
Lia?
I just went, hi.
Well, that's all right. You can. It probably will work out fine.
All right,
One more time.